Okay, it looks like we're finally live. I,
It's
I have no
alive!
idea what the quality is going to look like. It's amazing that it's actually working.
What,
We're
what?
all here.
YouTube, we're finally back.
We back,
Yep.
baby.
I can't believe I can actually see both of you guys. It's amazing.
It took a little bit of time, right?
This is an
Took
amazing experience. It took
took like
us
a year or two or something.
19
2 years?
minutes.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
no, well, I guess the 19 minutes that it took for this to work is nothing compared to the what has it long as it taken us three of us to get together again on here? A year and a half?
A year and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, I haven't been in Japan since March, so, and you guys left before me.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Ron left first, then Adam, and then me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this is good. Like the quality sounds good. Everything sounds good. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Well, my Chromebook is holding up. I'm all the way in the basement.
Good, good. Well, I'm all the way in Kentucky as opposed to in Louisiana, and it's cold up here, man.
It's actually cold in the
Yeah, see.
basement. Should have brought in my hoodie. Ooh.
So, man, I guess how should we start this? So, what are you guys doing now? So, like, I guess the question I have is, how are you now versus where you were a year ago, and are you where you expected? Like, I don't know, how can I phrase that question differently? How are you different now than where you were a year ago? That's what I want to say right there. Anthony.
Um, well, a year ago, right now, I was preparing to come back home. Like, I
Oh,
already
well,
knew I was leaving.
so, okay, so then move ahead a little bit. So, like, you were home. Where are
Yeah.
you from now, from the time you got home till now? How have you changed?
Um, I went on like job interviews and trying to get something going. Actually, a few Japanese companies, and they weren't working out. My Japanese skills weren't there, and so I had to take any job I could take. And right now, I work in a mailroom. But it's all right. I'm back home, working my way up in a company that has nothing to do with Japan. Japan's still in my life. I don't know. I'm not where I thought I'd be, but it's definitely good, I guess. I have no complaints.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I
What
would
about
try to move down into my basement. I'm actually there now. So we had a flood in the basement, and I'm back upstairs. Yeah, I'll show you. My basement got flooded. The walls are all gutted on the bottom. Like, this is my basement.
that's like the
That's a huge basement for New York.
Well, yeah, and then see that back room?
hmm
That was my room for a while when I came back. And then I went to work and I came home and the water was up to my ankles. So,
Holy crap.
yeah, all this stuff in the basement has to go. And we're going to get an extension on my room. So it's going to be like my own little apartment down here.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's freezing down here.
so what happened? You left the faucet running?
No, the water main broke, and it just so happens that the water main was right next to my room. So the front part of this basement over here, that it's fine. But
Literally,
yeah, I
your
live in like a pack
basement
rat.
looks like a house.
Oh yeah, it's got a full kitchen, boiler room, two bathrooms.
It's basically an apartment.
Yeah, well yeah.
Man, I
But
didn't know
now
you
my
had it
twin
like.
brother, he's gonna move down here. Oh, I live in a two-story house with the full basement.
Wow.
Yeah. But my grandmother, she takes up the whole first floor for one
Ah,
person. Yeah, so we're all crammed upstairs now. We're trying to move into the basement, and then the water main breaks. So,
See,
but I don't know, like, yeah.
Coming from Louisiana, I don't even know what a basement's like. I always thought it was like this little gray cement room where like
Oh,
people are hidden in, like from the movies. Like bad things happen in basements.
That's basically my basement. My basement looks like somebody's gonna get murdered down here. Like I don't know if I can show you if the lighting's like good enough, but like the walls are just so like
Bare.
unfinished or anything.
Yeah.
They're bare. I mean, there goes my African drum, if you can see that. But other than that,
Yeah, it
there's nothing.
looks like a horror movie actually.
Oh, it's scary walking down here at night.
Yeah, that's the complete opposite of my basement. But it's gonna take a little while more to move down here. But then once I got my setup, I'm gonna have a pretty big room, couch, big TV. But it's all being paid by me, so
Ah,
all my money is there. And then I'm putting my money toward going to Japan again. I bought my plane tickets, incredibly cheap,
But not to,
thousand bucks round trip.
you're not talking about to live. You're talking about to go hang out.
Yeah, and just traveling there, hanging out with some people from my old company, then some people I met at the university where I lived.
okay.
I'm landing in Tokyo, and then I go to Osaka, and then Hiroshima, and then Fukuoka, and then back to like Yamaguchi, and then back to Tokyo to fly home.
Cool deal.
Yeah, I'm buying that JR Rail Pass.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be a good thing
You
to
guys
do.
know about the?
Oh yeah.
It's $382 now.
Really?
14 days, $382. Yeah, and you can take the Shinkansen Unlimited.
So,
So that's
man,
pretty good deal.
what about you, Ron? What's going on with you?
Me, right now, for the past year, I've basically been just working, paying off like student loans and stuff like that, and I'm done. Woo, woo, yeah,
You paid off your college loan?
dude, I wanted to come into 2015 without having any kind of debt,
Damn.
so hard just to get this off.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been paying off for years, and I'm not anywhere close.
It definitely takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
So right
How many
now,
jobs are you working? Do you just one job?
I'm working 2 jobs right now. I work at a video rental store part time, and it's cool. I get to watch a whole bunch of movies. It's awesome. Don't really have to do too much. But then I also kind of like Anthony, but I work at like a UPS store, so I pack, do mail, sort, logistics, all that good stuff. And it's a pretty sweet job. Not that much stress, but always something to do, you know.
Yeah.
So right now I'm saving up, planning to move out either to the East Coast, Philadelphia, or maybe moving back to Salt Lake City. But I'm taking a trip to Salt Lake in February next month just to go hang out with some old friends.
Cool.
Yeah, you both travel around America a lot. I'm pretty much just isolated in New York City. I never really leave.
I'm supposed
Why
to be
would you
here in
want to?
Kentucky for like a week and a half, then I'm going to New Mexico.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're always driving far distances. You're always on the road. That's your lifestyle, though.
Adam, what have you been up to?
Well, so would you guys say you had good years?
2014? Let me see.
Yeah.
It ended. 2014 was the end of my Japan journey, and then my start here. It could have been better.
Yeah.
Especially my last day in Japan was the scariest time of my life.
You thought you were going to get arrested and deported?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will have to ask you about that later.
Own
So
it.
you can tell us more. Hold on to that. So, what about you, Ron?
2014, I wouldn't say it was really a good year. It was a hard year. Just a lot of personal stuff going on, as well as like working with this debt. Really kind of made me appreciate what I'm working toward in a way, but it definitely was not an easy year for me at all.
Cool. Well,
It did go by fast, though.
yeah, actually, now that I think about it, it went by pretty quick. So for me, when I moved back in September 1st of 2013,
Hmm.
and I came back for the job I'm working right now. It's a job to do inspection, and the job wasn't available. Like the market was real slow, and so there wasn't a whole lot of availability. So I got a job doing IT work, which I had a background in too, so it wasn't a big deal. The pay was okay, not bad, so I went into that. Did the IT work for a while. Life was good. 2013 ended with a bang. Like it was a good year. It was coming up, coming up, coming up. 2014 starts. Life was peachy, man. Had a girl, had a new apartment, had a new
The
car.
Dodge Dart. The Dodge
Everything was
Dart.
good. Yeah, Dodge,
Yeah,
Dodge Dart.
I liked
And
it.
so, and so everything was good. And then that's when 2014 just went, like things just started falling apart. Like, got in an accident. The girl left. Got evicted from my apartment. Uh, what else? A whole bunch of things just started falling apart. And then in July, on July 4th, my dad died. My dad passed away.
Yeah.
Then in September, I got laid off from my job, my IT job, because just cutbacks in the company. And so it was just a really bad year, man. Just like just one thing after another. It was like as soon as you recuperate from the first thing, then
Yeah.
boom, you get hit again for another one. And so what I did after I got laid off, I talked to a friend of mine who I originally talked to about coming to work at this company. And I was like, hey, you got any positions available at the company? I just happen to be free. And so he was like, oh, yeah, man, definitely you should go come apply and see what's going on. And sure enough, here I am. Now, the benefit here is I'm making double what I was making doing IT works. And I get to continue traveling. I get to travel even more than when I was traveling before. For me, doing the IT work was, I don't know, like it really wasn't for me because I was sitting behind a desk all day. And I wasn't really
Yeah.
enjoying that. Whereas this, I'm outside, I'm enjoying myself, and I get to travel still. So the travel part is really fun for me because like now I'm in Kentucky. Just this weekend, I left. We drove, and on the way to Kentucky was Atlanta. So we were like, hey, let's stop in Atlanta because the World Championships for Smite just happened to be going on this weekend. So hey, pick me up a T-shirt and a swag bag. We stopped in Atlanta for like an hour. We just stopped in, checked out the World Championships, had a good time, took some pictures of some people doing some cosplay. Just had a good time at the World Championships, and then boom, got back on the road and drove up here to Kentucky. Now, it is like 20 degrees here, or like it was at one point it was like negative 10 degrees Celsius, and one of the spots we stopped. So it's nice and cold, but it's a different kind of cold than what it is in Louisiana, man. It's or like even in Japan, because the humidity is so high, it's a lot worse. Here, there's no
Hmm.
humidity, so it don't feel bad. So I don't really feel bad for you guys in like Chicago, New York, or something. Like,
Oh my
oh,
Chicago
it's
has
God,
really
so much
cold.
humidity. Do not even start. Don't start.
You got humidity in Chicago? Okay,
dude, New
so
York
I'm gonna
City
come
is
up there and I'm gonna visit
frozen.
and I'm gonna see how bad it is.
Okay, right now it's like 20, 30, it's 30 degrees right now, but a couple of days ago it was like polar vortex, -5,
Yeah.
-18 wind chill. It was terrible.
I I don't think there's a warm enough coat in the world for how cold it was in New York.
Like here in
It was,
Kentucky, it's like 20 degrees outside. It got down to 18 at one point, and now this is in Fahrenheit, by the way, for people who are
Mhm.
watching. Like if you're watching from Japan, so I'm talking like -12, -10 degrees Celsius, and I'm outside with like a hoodie on and some track pants, and I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. Whereas if it was like -12 degrees in Japan or -12 degrees Celsius in South Louisiana, I'd be like jacket, 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 hat, pants,
Now,
pants.
you both lived in Osaka or Nara and Osaka, which is like really cold, right? Because
Well,
I
it,
lived.
it does get really cold, but it's also really humid.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Yeah, I
wasn't
lived.
too bad.
I lived in Yamaguchi, and for that whole year, we got snow like one day, and
Hmm.
it was pretty warm the whole year. It was beautiful. But
But here,
when I lived in Hiroshima in the mountains, like I'd wake up in the middle of the night wearing a jacket under my blankets, and I could see my breath in my room. Like it was horrible.
no, 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 no. See,
And that would be every night during the winter.
yeah, Yamaguchi's further south, but I
Yeah.
mean, even people down in Fukuoka, like they say it gets pretty cold down there. It snows and
Yeah.
stuff.
Really now.
But I guess
Well,
every year is different.
I was at a high
Can
altitude
do that.
in Tojo in Hiroshima. like dead smack in the middle in the mountains. So it was horrible, and I
But
didn't
see,
use
like
my heat.
in Nara. Oh, what? That sounds kind of dumb.
No, I didn't have good heat. I had the air conditioned heater, and it was really expensive, and the one I had was really old and sucked. So, and there
Yeah,
were
but
no stores. There were no stores nearby to buy space heaters because my town had like a 7-Eleven and like a gas
ah,
station and a supermarket, and that's it.
In
So,
Hiroshima?
yeah, my
Wow.
town's crazy small.
in
That was
Nara,
the most depressing year.
it was
That's
like
for sure.
275% humidity and like 2 degrees centigrade. So it was pretty cold.
Summers are brutal in Japan.
Yeah,
Summers
they
are
are.
worse.
I almost couldn't stand it in Japan, and like I was always drinking mugicha just to keep cool.
Oh yeah, movie cha. Oh, I
See,
miss
but
that.
the heat heat don't bother me though because like we're gonna go to New Mexico and it's gonna be cold. But in the summertime, it's not bad because there's no humidity there. It gets up to like 100 degrees or 40 degrees centigrade. So that don't bother me though because when there's no humidity, you don't sweat. You're just like, whatever.
I
Right.
remember going to Las Vegas and that heat was intense. That dry heat. Like I'd
Yeah,
step
but
outside, I could feel myself baking. Like I
they
was sitting in an
have a lot
oven.
of concrete and a lot of asphalt, so that
Yeah. Well, this is my grandma's phone.
Oh my gosh.
She's an old Italian lady. Oh boy.
so tell us, Anthony, whenever we were talking about what we were going to talk about today, you were saying something about how you were going to get arrested and deported, even though it was your last day and you were trying to get the hell out of the country.
Yeah.
So, what was that about?
Um, Officially, my visa, my work visa, expired on the 22nd, and my flight out was the 23rd. And now this was on me because I totally mixed up the dates in my head. I thought I expired the 23rd and I was leaving on the 22nd. Because during the like when you're about to leave Japan, you're dealing with so much stuff, the paying all the bills, getting the car situated out, and like it was crazy. So I mixed up those dates, and I found out the day before I was going to leave. So the day before, I was staying over my friend Yuji's house in Fukuoka, and we were on the phone with immigration the whole day. I called the American embassy, and they couldn't help me. I was freaking out. I went on Google, and I was looking up horror stories about people who overstayed their visa for a day, and they got detained for up to a few weeks and fined $10,000 and banned from the country for 5 to 10 years just for a
What?
day. Yeah,
What?
yeah. If you overstay your visa just by a day, that's what happens to you. So I was reading this and I was like, "Holy shit, I'm screwed. I'm really screwed." And I told my friend, I was like, "I'm gonna buy a ticket. I'm gonna leave right now. I'm gonna get on a Shinkansen all the way to Tokyo, and get on a flight from Fukuoka." I was about to drop like close to 2 grand just to get home, just before my visa expired. And he's like, "Nah, you don't got to do that. It's no problem." I'm like, "Nah, man. Like, I'm not Japanese like you. It's a big deal." And he's like joking with me, like, "Oh, you're a Ronin now." And I remember that last night
That's me.
we we drove to a Mangasoko, and we were like in the car. He was driving,
Hmm?
and there was cops like next to us. And he turns to me. He's like, "Hey, should I go tell him that you're illegal?" And I'm like, I just started freaking out. I was like, I can't. I don't even want to be outside right now, you know. But the next day, the day where I was leaving, the day that I'm already expired, he brings me to the airport in Fukuoka for a connecting flight to Tokyo, and he gets me on the plane. They spent the whole day on the phone the day before talking to immigration. We got like contacts in for everyone to like meet up at the airport and swiftly get me home, and it worked. It worked. I was like escorted like from airport to airport, no problem.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, no penalty, didn't pay anything. I had to pay for a visa extension,
We're
But
like, this is just a white guy trying to get the hell out of here. We don't
yeah,
need the
I was
charges.
like, hey
Let's
man,
get the hell out.
it's not. It's this is totally accidental. I didn't mean to do it, and just bad luck. Really bad
Yeah, the
luck.
company I work for, they used to make a big deal about like pay attention to your visas so you don't overstay something, blah blah blah. And
Oh, it is a
I never
huge
thought about
deal.
it that way.
It is a huge deal. You can seriously get really screwed over. And actually, uh, they they can ban you for a year. They usually ban you for a year when you do that. Like that's the usual if you miss a day. Um, but they'll put a giant stamp on your passport telling you you can't come back to this date. And I didn't get that stamp. So I'm actually going back March 18th, which is a few days shy of a year.
Oh, awesome.
So we'll find out.
Well, hey, if you're gonna be there around that time, are you going through Osaka?
I am. I'll be in Osaka for 2 days.
When?
I'm probably hit up Scott. We'll see.
Um,
But I think I'm gonna be in
because
Osaka
they
like
have
on a Monday, Tuesday.
there's a Saturday at the end of the month where they have the Nihonbashi Street Festa. They have all the cosplay and all the people out there doing their thing. I really want to go in March for that, but I don't know that, because my plan was to go this year in March. But right now, I had to burn up all my savings in like the month and a half I was laid off. And then I didn't really work much in November, December because of the holidays. So all my savings is pretty much gone.
Yeah, I'm struggling right now to get the money. I already bought my plane ticket, but I gotta save up more money. That's my dad.
Hey, Mr. Carl.
Why don't you ever? Oh, they're saying hi.
Hello.
It's all the way upstairs?
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Why are you fucking on?
He's telling me to buy my own cigarettes.
Well, yeah, you should.
I should, I know, but funds are tight. So what's up, guys?
Anthony, I have something that you forgot at the party. I held on
Oh,
to.
really?
Yeah,
What'd you-
yeah.
What is it?
Oh my gosh, I wonder if this is bright enough, but like, you won. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me change the camera.
I won something? I never win.
You won something that night.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure. I don't want to move my. Just a second, guys. Oh, it's pretty heavy. Not really, but
Actually, I'll walk upstairs with my computer.
there we go. This is what you forgot.
Oh, the thing that was signed by everybody?
Yeah.
Ah, damn it.
Adam was like, "Well, Anthony forgot it, so you could just take it." And I was like, "Really, dude?"
Yeah.
Dude.
They have it, man. It's cool. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I still have like a poster board of like all my adventures, all the tickets, some political stuff, a lot of the things I was involved.
Yeah, I don't have a wall dedicated. I should.
I just had so much stuff I had to clear out my like.
There's my mom.
Hi. Whoa.
Where's the...
No more.
No more?
So I was thinking of another question.
Yeah, what's up?
How do you guys think you're different now than before you went to Japan?
Ron, you go first. I have to think.
You go first.
Me?
Like you went to school in Japan, Ron, so like you got a lot of experience out of it.
Yeah, I did. I'm not sure if I'd actually say I'm different. That's a hard question. I'd have to actually think about, but
Whoops.
That's a good
I guess-
something to make a video about. Like you could actually make a nice video about that.
how I think
So like
I'm
I
different
guess
now.
a follow-up question to that would be, did you think it was a good idea?
I think going to Japan, I think was a really good idea. How I think I'm different now in a way, in a certain sense, I feel like I'm a little bit more open to things and a little bit more adventurous than I was before. Say, like, I wasn't really that guy that would, like, go out and do things, but now I'm more of that guy, let's go to this party. Let's go to this concert. Let's go to this meetup or something like that. That's what I'm really all about. I'm a better conversationalist in a sense. I feel like while I was in Japan, I kind of learned, in a sense, a meaning of what it is to work hard. Just because I was in class almost every day, had to study like 50 kanji a week, which is ridiculous, and just try to stay on top of things for tests and just like things weekly. So I think I became a little bit more responsible in a sense, and just kind of appreciated like the things that I have.
That's cool. So like for me, I definitely think it was a good idea. I think like as far as being different now than what I was then, I think that
Lost a lot of weight.
yeah, well, I'm a completely different person. I left a whole person in Japan. When I got there, let's see. Before I went there, I lost about 35 pounds. So when I got there, I must have weighed about 360. And when I left, I was 186.
Wow.
So I left almost 200 pounds in Japan. Um, so I did. I definitely am glad I went and came back and I left the things I did.
And a lot of people say, oh, it's easy to lose weight in Japan. It's not. They have like tons of garbage food.
Tokyo Sam.
Oh man, I gained some weight in Japan actually.
Oh, I did too, and I blame alcohol because I became like an alcoholic there. Every weekend I was out partying. So.
But
I will say
don't have to walk. I'd walk all over the place, and I'd ride my bike everywhere.
Yeah, I had a car, and I bought a bicycle from you, and I must have like used it like twice. I can't believe how bad I was. Oh God.
Bus and train. So
When
like
we were together, we rode bikes. But whenever you took it back to Hiroshima or whatever, you didn't ride much.
I rode it around my whole town once, and then I realized like if I do it again, like I literally went down like every road, and that was it. I rode, I think it was about 9 kilometers down some road, and I went to that shrine and I took pictures, and then after that I just lost interest. I'm like that though.
I made some good friends
Up and drop
that were J-floggers, but I made tons of fantastic friends that were Japanese. Like I hung out with pretty much only Japanese people all the time to make Japanese friends and to help learn the language. But I made a lot of good friends there, and I really enjoyed that it opened up. Like I was always kind of open to different things. Like I didn't just say, okay, America, yeah, America,
Yeah.
the best in the world. But like I always felt like
What?
I was open to different things, you know.
Yeah.
And traveling to a different country opens your worldview. It makes you think differently about things than people who have never left their hometown. And so I think that's good. I don't know. I enjoyed actually teaching, so I mean that was cool for me.
Oh, I love teaching.
Definitely.
Kids were off.
Aside from the learning a language part and the losing weight part, which was definitely beneficial, I think the fact that it really helped open my worldview and it helped open all that stuff to me, has been really beneficial.
Me, I think I changed? Yeah. I mean, I more like I became more of who I am. I think like more filling into my shoes. I like everything I've done there. It was amazing. Like the experiences and just going out. I slept in my car twice in a city, and just woke up, drove home. The first year I was there, that was probably the most challenging because I spent most of the time alone. Like I spent Christmas by myself. I spent my birthday by myself, completely alone. I had no friends where I was. I'd have to drive out to Adam's place to just get out and do something. I drove. Remember, Adam? I drove like
drive or something?
I drove like 5-6 hours to go to his place.
Oh my gosh.
And then I found out that there was a bus I could have taken because no one told me there was a bus station in my town. The person who was there before me left me nothing. I had to find out all this.
What
Yeah,
a
the person who
It
was there
was,
before me was gone earlier, so that I had no information from them. I had to find everything out on my own.
but like my first year was just miserable. But it made me stronger. It made me push the envelope of doing things on my own, and because I was forced to, I had to get in my car and drive to a random city. The closest city was Fukuyama, which is south, an hour and 45-minute car ride south of where I lived, and I'd go there like every weekend. And I met a girl there, met a few girls, had a few girlfriends.
bad.
He met all the
I mean,
girls.
that was my first year. It was just meeting up with girls and hanging out with them, and But then my second year, that was a better year. It was harder, but it was harder because I was now, after a year being in like solitude, I was now with people from an international university, who from England, Australia, and I had to get along with them, and I had to. It was hard. It was hard because they're very different people. Um, but I found some really great friends. Actually, my girlfriend now, I met her through a friend that I made there, and she's Chinese, so that's a little difficult because she doesn't
Is he
speak.
going to Japan?
Huh?
Is he going to Japan?
Who?
Somebody told me.
No, they've been in Japan.
Oh,
They're they're back in America.
where is he from?
Oh my God.
Where
One of my
does he live?
Louisiana, and
I love your mom.
Louisiana.
yeah. And
This is
what are you
great.
doing?
I'm taking this upstairs.
She's bringing stuff up from the basement.
Oh, okay.
You live in Louisiana?
No, he lives. You live in Boston now, or
I live in
Ron?
Chicago.
Chicago?
Oh, you live in Chicago. How cold is it there?
Well, it's 30 degrees now, so it's not
30 degrees now.
Oh, that's it? So it's colder here. What is he saying? I can't.
Tell her it's,
I know you
tell her-
can't hear. My
tell her it's-
headphones on, Bob. I can't take them out, otherwise there's a reverb.
Who's that?
Tell her
It's
it's
Adam.
20 degrees in Kentucky.
He lives in right now. You're in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Kentucky.
What's the temperature there?
What is it, like 20? 20.
Oh, you think Chicago should be colder.
Yeah. So
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Your mom from Jersey.
yeah.
Wow.
She talked to me
I
every
will
day.
say this.
Every day
Really,
we
she
had
did?
a Facebook video chat. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
I talk to my mom like once, like every month, if anything.
I would finish eating dinner and she'd be waking up for work and she would call me. She'd wake up extra early
Aw.
just to chat.
I recently moved back in with my mom to help her out with everything since my dad died. So I've been helping her clean up everything around the house and take care of stuff.
It's nice to live at home, I think. It's nice, and then it gets old fast.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
I-
It gets definitely fast.
Are all three of us at home?
Yeah, I think so.
It's the American way.
That's the Japanese way.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We all went to Japan. We saw how they did it. We came back, and now we're emulating it.
Yes.
We just don't have no love hotels. That's what I need to do. I need to open a love hotel. That's how I'm gonna make my money. I'm gonna make my millions. I'm open a love hotel chain. It's gotta have some funny name though.
Adam, it's called a motel, first of all.
But they don't got motels you can rent by the hour usually, unless you're in a city like Las Vegas.
Yeah, but they're cheap enough for, a couple of hours.
Yeah, but do they have cool themes like
Oh my God, I've been to crazy levels.
mirrors?
You know what I actually recently just found?
What up?
I was on Google Maps, and I recreated that night. Remember? Adam was there. It was his birthday.
Umeda? No,
Yeah.
wait, where?
Tenoji. where Scott lives,
Oh.
and
Not-
I
the
walked
night
down the
I got
streets.
drunk and met my tattoo artist, and then you went home with a girl to a love hotel, and I was on Scott's couch drunk.
Yeah, yeah. That was fun. That was crazy. That was a good night.
Was that the chick that had a dragon tattoo?
No, that was another chick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dragon tattoo girl I had with that was Jai. Me and Jai went out.
Oh man, you guys really partied.
I miss
Dude, I
Jai,
partied
man.
way too hard.
Man, I wish I
This-
partied.
That's why this dude never had no money, man. That's, if anything, we should tell people that alcohol and cigarettes and partying, that shit is what keeps you broke.
Yeah, it
I
did.
know, but, like Japan, like every night is Friday night in Japan. That's the thing. Like everybody's just doing something every day. It's crazy.
Every night. Yes.
Yeah. I spent because that whole year where I was pent up. After that, it was just party, 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 party.
And they don't look down on you if you go party every night, too. They're just like, party? Hell yeah. Karaoke? Yeah.
Just as long as you're at work the next day, they don't care.
I almost got a job at a whiskey bar. I was behind the counter serving drinks. That was awesome. They took me bowling on a Sunday, and then I went. I worked next morning, so it was what's that sound? It was a Sunday. It was a Sunday evening, and I went out bowling with them, and then they brought me back to their whiskey bar, and I just got loaded on whiskey, and it was like 2 a.m. They paid for a taxi to take me back to my apartment. I slept for a few hours, woke up, took a cold shower, and went straight to work with a huge hangover.
I woke up like this.
Yeah. Oh, that was a rough day. But, I never really missed a day at work. I never took days off.
That's another thing I left in
Plus,
Japan.
yeah.
I never took any days off or missed any work until I knocked 2 of my teeth out on the curb on my bike.
And they were hard about that, were they?
No. Like, I called my boss. I was like, hey, I'm in a hospital getting x-rayed because I knocked some of my teeth out. She was like, what? Oh, well, we'll find a way we'll get some teachers to come and cover for you. And she's like, just
Okay.
take care of yourself and let me know how it goes.
Because I know my company wasn't very nice.
Yeah, man, it was bad, man. That was not a good experience. Like, people were asking, like,
Oh,
are you going back to America to get your dental work done? I was like, hell no, that'd be cheap here. Insurance is good.
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Yeah, Adam, you got the hookups with your dental work though. From
Yeah. I
I mean, but at the same time, insurance paid for these teeth, as opposed to me getting like veneers or something like that. Like something expensive. I just got like the insurance teeth, and they were like, well, so do you want the insurance teeth or do you want the nice teeth? I'm like, the insurance teeth, are they free? They're like, yeah. I was like, insurance teeth. But what I did first was I asked a whole bunch of girls. I was like, if I want to do this tooth, if I want to do it in metal, how do you think that? Girl I asked was like, no, that'd be ugly. I was like, damn, I always wanted a metal tooth.
Timoy.
you look like a pimp.
But that'd be gold, I guess, or a diamond. Get a diamond. Maybe someday.
Well,
It's like-
I remember, Adam, you were saying that you were going to be staying the longest. I remember you're like, I ain't leaving. It's
No.
not happening. I'm not going nowhere.
No,
Yeah, I remember. Like my goal is no disrespect. You're like, I want to open up a Cajun style restaurant here in Japan, and I think it would be really profitable. And I was like hoping for that to happen because I would have loved to like work for you at that restaurant or something like that.
Yeah, just stay forever.
It would have been a cool idea if if things played out the way they did.
And I remember, like, I originally wanted to stay only 2 or 3 years. And it was coming up to stay the third year, and I was just like, I think I'm going to go home. I just felt like Japan's a beautiful place. It was awesome. I loved it, but it was getting old. And like right now I'm back here, and I got that same like I want to go back, I want to go back, I want to go back. But when you're living there, you start to become numb to it, you know.
Yeah.
So and I didn't see a future for me there. So
I taught at three schools. Two schools, I love the students to death. The students love me. The parents love me. It was fantastic. One school was like, so if you can compare Osaka to Los Angeles, which is typically what happens in Tokyo to New York. I taught in Osaka, and I taught down in a city which you would compare to Compton. So the students there were incredibly rude, incredibly obnoxious, and incredibly bad. And the parents loved me because I was strict and I ran a good class and the students were learning. But I had two classes back to back of all bad students. And I told my boss, I was like, look, what I
that's
need
stressful.
is for me to be able to walk in for 2 hours, take off my belt, and just whoop ass for 2 hours. And I promise you, next time I come here, I ain't gonna have no more problems. She was like, well, you can't do that because then you'll get fired and you'll probably get deported and it'll just be a whole
Yeah.
bunch of bad stuff. I was like, yeah, but it might be worth it just to see the look on those kids' faces because they are bad. And
From what I've seen, they never get disciplined. I've never
no,
seen. I've seen the most I've seen was one of the teachers outright like scream at a student, and then but they took him out of the classroom before they screamed at them in the hallway, and the kid came back like nothing happened, and the teacher just gave up from there.
I
So
even had one student that was bad. He got a lot better eventually at that school. Who the parents would come and they would observe the class twice a year. And after the class was over, the mom found out that the student had disrespected me, like something really simple, like he called me Gorilla Sensei or something like that.
hmm
And the mom found out and she got super upset. So she came in and she apologized to me and she dragged him back in by his ear and she made him bow and apologize. And I was like laughing.
one of my students actually spit in my face, a third
Oh
grader,
my gosh.
and they dragged him back into the teacher's room and made him apologize in English to me. And his face went all red, and he was crying tears and just like snot and drool and I'm so sorry. And yeah,
Well,
but
so
I mean, he was a third grader, so I didn't really care.
now this kid was probably like 8, but after he apologized, his mom told me, you know, in Japanese, she told me that basically if he was bad, I should hit him. And so I laughed and I looked at him like this and I did. He went.
Yeah,
And
Unfortunately, I
so
didn't have experience like that there, man.
I told my boss about that in our next monthly meeting, and she was like, "What, did you hit him?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Well, don't ever hit him. Even if the parents gave you permission." I was like, "Don't worry, I ain't gonna hit the kids. I mean, I ain't like that." She was like, "Okay, just make it sure." I was like, "I just wanted to threaten him a little bit and scare him." While
yeah.
while his mom was standing right there.
Well, I remember my company said there's a policy we can't do any kind of you know what is it called? Any kind of like you can't hand out any kind of I can't remember the word discipline. We can't discipline the students in any way. We can't say anything to them. We can't change our tone of voice. We can't we have to be that clown in the room the whole time. So when my students would freak out and like flip desks and like tell me to go die in Japanese, I would just ignore it. Like, yeah, there was this one girl. I was like, "Do you want your worksheet?" She's like, "Get away from me!" And I was just like, "Okay." I mean, I got 40 minutes left of this class, and I don't even care. I continued handing out sheets, and then she wanted a sheet later on, and I was like, "Sheet's gone. That's it. You're not getting one. Nope." But
You see, that's why the company you're working for, they have such a bad reputation. But like ALTs in general have a reputation for not really getting much done because if the students don't want to get anything done and you can't do anything to them, then what are you going to do?
yeah, and they didn't. I mean, I was so limited with my teaching. So limited. I couldn't speak Japanese. I couldn't teach what I wanted to teach. So I mean, it wasn't that great. But I mean, after a while, it just became routine, a job. I love the students. I look more forward to having lunch with the students. I look more forward to going out and playing with them during recess and after lunch and hanging out after school than actually teaching. So.
Yeah. Like, but see, the thing for me, like that other school, I couldn't teach it anymore. I was done, and I told my boss that, and she was ready to extend me for another year. I did extra 3 months, and she's like, okay, I want to give you the other 9 months, another year. I was like, that's cool, I'll do it, but I ain't teaching this school no more. She's like, well, that's fine. It's like, but you have to change your whole set. You can't teach any of the 3 schools you teach. Like, we have to move you to a completely different set, and there is a set available in Osaka, like North Osaka, kind of like we're near where Ron was living.
But they won't change your apartment.
No, my apartment would change. Like, well, I don't
Okay.
know. More than likely, my apartment would change. My whole life would move. And I was like, well, I don't really want to move from Nara. I like my school in Nara. I like my school in Tenri, and I don't want to don't want to teach that school in Osaka anymore. She's like, well, we can't really mix them up right now. The reason somebody was teaching that one school because it was kind of easy to get there from Nara, and nobody else could really get there. So the answer was nobody else wanted that school, and so I was like, well, that's just too bad. I said, I can't do it. I was like, I understand. She's like, well, we can't just put a Band-Aid on the like, if you move, it's just putting a Band-Aid on the situation. Like, it's not fixing the situation. I was like, I understand. I was like, but for the last year, I've been trying to tell you how to fix this situation, and you're not fixing it because the problem was the Japanese teacher. She was only been there for a year. She didn't know what she was really doing. I was offering her ways to help, and she was just counteracting me because, like, I had this list of rules, and I would sit and watch her class. Like, once every 3 months, I'd go and watch one of her classes on, like, one of my days where I had, like, an office day where you could do paperwork or observe a class, and she didn't follow the rules. The students would just, like, roll around the ground, or they would yell while somebody else was talking. It was really bad, and that's why that school was so bad because she had no control over it. She was, like, 22 years old, though, so, I mean, a little 22-year-old Japanese girl really ain't going to have a whole lot of control in the classroom to begin with.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's like for her, like you were saying, it's kind of just a job. So she was just doing the job, get some money, just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, that's why I could have gone and gotten a different job in Osaka with a different company, but I was kind of burnt out. I got an offer for a job here, making like 3 times the money I was making there. And so I was like, I can go home.
Well, I think you did the right thing.
And do my dream, which is to own some gangster Japanese cars and have a good time and be easier for me because it's so hard to build a car there. Like,
oh, yeah.
I made that video a while back about basically outlining all the reasons, and pretty much that's why. There's no reason to go in it right now, but basically the same thing, It's just, I don't know, like, and I'm having a pretty good time here. I'm enjoying myself, so I'm going to go back and visit from time to time, but maybe someday I can move back.
I didn't expect to be going back this soon, honestly, but it just so happened that one of my friends, he's free. He's in between. He's going to leave his job soon, so he's going to have those 2 weeks. He has the money to go, and it just so happened to work out that, like, I can take 2 weeks off too, and we can both go. So I'm just lucky. I wasn't planning on going back this soon. So it's surreal to think that in 2 months and a week I'm going to be back there, and that's crazy. I'm thinking about making videos while I'm there.
You should, I think.
Yeah.
I have a lot. Well, okay, so let's close with this then. What are you planning on doing with your channel, Anthony?
Me? Right now, I privatized all my videos, just because I feel like I'm not putting out new content, and the old videos are stale, and I don't want people to watch them and expect more. And it's just, I think what I might do while I'm in Japan, I'll make like a video a day, or just like a quick, this is this, and look at what's here in Tokyo, and this is my friend's first reaction to eating whale, or hey, look at him, I'm in Nara, and guess what izakaya I'm at, some crazy shit like that. Just make a quick series of videos and then just leave them up on my channel. But I don't see myself becoming a J vlogger. I think that helped me when I first got to Japan to meet you guys and have friends and get by. But I don't have the ability to put out that kind of premium content and devote my time to put out stuff that people want to watch. And I think there's way enough content out there already. if anybody wants to watch stuff about Japan, like Scott's got pretty much everything covered. You can get like different perspectives from like Tokyo Sam. You get the rundown for like how to learn Japanese and or controversial topics from Give Me a Flake Man or or Chill Back with Molly. Like there's so much content out there that there's no point for me to even try. I think because there's nothing I can say that's new. It's all been said. But that's why like I kept my videos. I didn't delete them. They're just private, but they're more for me. They're more for me to watch and go back and I never made videos for other people. Like if you saw my videos, they were just stuff I liked that I wanted to watch later on. And yeah. So that's my future, I think.
My videos are originally for my family too, so I totally understand that. What about you, Ron?
From not really using my channel for like a year or two, I was actually kind of thinking about making videos again. Mostly when I did make videos, it was like the same reason for Anthony, just I wanted to watch them later. But at the same time, I also do want to share my life, not only with my family, but with other people. So with the future of my channel, I'm thinking of just starting it up again, talking about topics of Japan, controversial topics of Japan as well as light ones, talking about Japanese language, things like that. But I promised myself that I wouldn't turn it into something serious that I do that I would do like religiously. Just something like, hey, I have an idea that I think I could make a good video out of this. Let me work on that. Call it that. If I get another idea later on, then I'll just try working on that, and if I like it, then I'll do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have that unique perspective that most people don't have. Being a student, I've never really seen a student who is in Japan making videos. It's always English teachers.
Yeah, well, Mike and Sendai, he was in grad school.
He was in grad school.
Okay, I never watched him. Is he big? I don't even know. It's surprising that like I'm not YouTube. I don't really know.
Right.
I'm really
well, he was on my show once. Like we did a hangout with him once.
Was I talking to him? Oh God.
I don't remember if you were on it or not.
Okay.
Well, I thought you guys did that together.
I have a poor memory.
Okay. I'd like for you guys to like interview or other J bloggers or something like that. I think that's still a cool idea that nobody. I mean, people are still doing that, but I feel because you guys, we aren't Oyaji. I feel like that adds to the experience of why we're interviewing these people that decided to start making videos now about Japan or why they live in Japan, etc., etc.
When we were doing it, we were interviewing people that weren't important, like Victor and Hiko-sama, they interview important people. We were going and interviewing the little guys, people that we knew personally. Like, I was picking out little guys out of the crowd who I thought were really cool and that people needed to find out about, like you, like Anthony, like Matt down in Fukuoka, like Mike up in Tohoku. Just little people that I thought were really neat that people should find out about because they had some little perspective on Japan that you don't really hear about too often.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like
the big people, it's the same stuff. Like you hear them talk, it's you heard it. Like there's nothing new there. When I watch their videos sometimes, it's stale. It's really stale. I liked watching Molly and Softy Papa when they talk, like their views on it because they've lived there. Well now. What's his name? Yeah. What's Kurt Bell? Now that he's back, like I'm looking at all his Instagram pictures and stuff, and it's still interesting. His life is just interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like people like who burned out, like at Tokyo Kuni and stuff. Like that was just popcorn. There was nothing. There was no content there. Just popcorn.
Well, so like for me, I still have a ton of content that I have from Japan that I have never uploaded because my computer freaked out. And once I like by the summer, I plan on buying a new computer, and I'm gonna start uploading this content. Start putting up old stuff. Like I went to Koyasan, the biggest graveyard in Japan, and I have all this footage and video stuff from there, and I have all kind of other stuff, places I've been, video I have, all kind of neat stuff that I want to upload. I just haven't done it yet. I had a tips series that I wanted to do, just Cajun Gaijin's tips for going to Japan, tips for living in Japan, stuff from my perspective. They're silly. They're kind of
Yeah,
off
I think I
color.
tried doing that for like a few. I think I made 3 of those. I don't remember.
And
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting. But once again, it's something I can't do until I have, the software and the hardware for it. Because right now my computer's jacked up.
Mhm.
I would like
So
to see that. I interviewed a World War II veteran from the Japan side.
Wow.
I mean, it was just only like a podcast kind of style, but I'd
Hmm.
still like to upload that. I have to like translate it. I have all this content of stuff like Adam that I would like to share with people as well. But my computer got jacked up. So, and now the new laptop that I'm using is just like slow, terrible. I can only like edit small 1 minute videos and stuff like that that just don't do the job.
Yeah.
that's cool. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and close with that then, guys. And I'm gonna leave this up so people can watch it because we only had 2 viewers. I haven't had chance to check out the comments because I'm working off of my phone right now because I'm in Podunk, Kentucky, on a job, and so I didn't want to take up too much bandwidth on the phone, and I stand the chance they would kill the video signal. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming. I really appreciate the guys who did come and watch. I appreciate the people who are going to watch. Um, to say that we're back is probably not the correct thing. We're intermittently back, but I wanted us to come and hang out and catch up. Maybe I want us to do this again in the future,
Yeah,
um,
I'm always free. Well, when I'm free. But yeah.
especially after Anthony gets back, so we can figure out, see
Oh,
what
I'm
he has to say
careful
about
about that.
Yeah. Or maybe we could do it while I'm there.
if we find a time to do it. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to take up
Could
any of
I
your
could I
time.
do it off my Nexus phone?
Maybe.
Is that possible to hang out?
Maybe not. You probably won't be able to do it live. I think
Okay.
you need a computer
So then
live.
I don't know if I'll bring my Chromebook because I'm going with just a backpack for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm staying in hostels the whole time.
Nice.
Right on.
Was
I
there
need
anything else you guys want to say?
Uh, I'd like to thank everybody for checking it out, and I don't know. I'm hoping to bring at some point in time some new content for you.
Yeah.
I hope we can do this again in the not too distant future. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate you making that video for us, Ron. That was really cool.
Yeah.
It took me 4 hours. Oh my god.
Wow. I'm thankful that you guys invited me. That I'm still relevant in some way. I was always just a small fish. No one, yeah, whatever. But
It was your show.
but it was really Adams. I was always just the sidekick. Always. So I'm never the star. So I'm just happy to be here, and it was fun. I definitely want to come back, and I'll put out some content from when I go back to Japan, for sure. I mean,
Cool.
how hard could it be? Probably going to be like little videos, like minute long, but yeah, definitely.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay, guys. Yes, we're gonna sign off then, guys. I appreciate everybody coming by to watch, and I hope everybody has a great night here in America and a great day in Japan.
Yep. Good night, everyone. Good day, everyone.